Access your free language gifts right now before they expire. Here's what you're getting this month. First, the Hotel Conversation Cheat Sheet. With this new cheat sheet, you'll learn how to check in at the hotel, plus all the must-know hotel-related words and phrases. Download it for free right now. Second, our PDF Welcome Pack. New to the language and don't know where to start? Start with the basics. With our Welcome Pack, you get 6 PDF cheat sheets giving you a quick overview of the alphabet, grammar, keywords and phrases, and all the basics you must know. Third, going on vacation vocabulary. Learn how to say summer vacation, camping, honeymoon, and much more with this quick 1-minute lesson. Fourth, how to talk about the muscles of the body. Learn how to say biceps, triceps, and much more. Fifth, idioms that make you sound like a native speaker. In this quick lesson, you'll pick up 10 idioms that you can use in conversations. Sixth, tired of apps that just teach you random words? With our innovative language learning app, you learn through conversations and start speaking in minutes because the audio and video lessons are just 3 to 15 minutes long. Learning is that easy. Download it for free for the Android, iPhone, and iPad. And finally, the deal of the month. If you want to learn the language in 6 months with our complete language learning program, then get up to 45% off all 6-month plans with our 6-month challenge sale. To get your gifts and language learning resources, click the link in the description below. Download them right now before they expire.
Diego, ¿recuerdas a Teresa?
Teresa, quien estudió contigo en la licenciatura.
Sí.
¿Y cuyo padre es mecánico?
Exactamente, Teresa, la que también vende chicharrones en la esquina.
Eso es tan delicioso, sí. Sí, claro.
Sí, bueno, tiene un nuevo novio.
¿Otro?
Y es nuestro vecino. Nuestro vecino, el que tiene 6 perros.
Ramón, wow. Ok, bueno, a ver, cuéntame el chisme completo.
Sí, es que resulta que el otro día estaba...
Hello there, my beautiful friends of SpanishPole101.com. As you might know, my name is Diego.
And I'm Efraín.
And in today's video, we're going to check what is a relative clause and also pretty useful relative pronouns to use the relative clauses.
Yeah.
So, if you're interested, guys, enjoy this video.
Woo!
Okay guys, so as you heard in the previous skit, what we used were the relative clauses, okay? The relative clauses basically are 2 sentences that are joined or have in common a noun, whereas one sentence has or adds more information about this noun. So let's see here one example.
Ya. Ok. Por ejemplo, Gabriel. ¿Conoces a Gabriel? Gabriel está cantando banda en la fiesta.
So the first sentence, ¿conoces a Gabriel? Second sentence, Gabriel está cantando banda en la fiesta.
¿Conoces a Gabriel? ¿El que está cantando banda en la fiesta?
Now this third sentence, el que está cantando banda en la fiesta, is joining together these 2 sentences. The fact that conoces a Gabriel and Gabriel está cantando banda en la fiesta. These are 2 sentences that when joined together is conoces a Gabriel, el que está cantando banda en la fiesta. The common noun here obviously is Gabriel. And the second sentence is adding more information to the previous one. Let's see now another example.
El papá de Melissa es doctor. Melissa me presentó a su papá. Melissa me presentó a su papá, quien es doctor.
Okay, so in this sentence, the first one is el papá de Melissa es doctor. That all by itself is a sentence. And when you say Melissa me presentó a su papá, that's another sentence. And it could be only, you don't need to add more information. However, you can join them together and there you have a relative clause. En este caso es Melissa me presentó a su papá, quien es médico. Okay, quien es médico. So the second part is what is adding information to the common noun, and the common noun is su papá, ¿no? Su papá, quien es médico. So this might be a bit confusing at first, but what you need to take into account is that each relative clause needs a relative pronoun, un pronombre relativo, and that's what we're going to see right now. So the first relative pronoun that we're going to see is probably the most used one, and that's que. Que could be translated in English as who, whom, which, or even that. And this is for substituting either a person or a noun. Let's look at 3 examples.
Ese es el hombre que vi en la calle. Ese es el hombre que vi en la calle. Ellas son las mujeres que me ayudaron ayer. Ellas son las mujeres que me ayudaron ayer. Número 3. Esa es la novela que ganó el premio. Esa es la novela que ganó el premio.
Good. So as you can see here, el pronombre relativo que está juntando 2 oraciones y está haciendo una relative clause. Ahora con esto quiere decir que está añadiendo información a la primera oración. Let's take a close look at the last one. So the last one was, esa es la novela que
ganó el premio.
So here we have 2 sentences. Esa es la novela, all by itself could be a sentence. Esa es la novela. But what can we say about that novel? Que ganó el premio.
Yeah.
¿No? So, of course, we can only say, esa novela ganó el premio. That's correct. That's correct by itself. But if you want to add information, that's where you will need to say the relative clause. Esa es la novela que ganó el premio. Think of it as when you say it in English. That's the novel that won the prize. The next relative clause is quien. And be careful because sometimes quien could be substituted by que. As you heard before, que in the previous relative pronoun, que can also refer to people. So when do we use quien? So quien refers to people and it has a plural form. Tiene una forma plural y esa es quienes. Quienes. So when do we need to use quien? Let's see 3 examples and I will tell you later. So the first example.
El primero. Francisco, quien trabaja conmigo, me invitó a su bautizo. Francisco, quien trabaja conmigo, me invitó a su bautizo.
So in this case, Francisco, quien trabaja conmigo, I can change quien for el que. Francisco, el que trabaja conmigo, me invitó a su bautizo.
Yeah.
So he's a grown-up man.
No, su bautizo in the Christian believing.
Christian believing.
In
Okay.
Catholic believing, you need to be a baby, but in the Christian
okay,
religion,
I was like
you can
Francisco,
be
like a little baby.
no, you can be a grown up. Okay.
Okay, let's see the second example.
Okay, the second one. La segunda es. You see, I forgot the example. Okay, yeah, I second one. Ese hombre gordo con quien me viste ayer es mi jefe. Ese hombre gordo con quien me viste ayer es mi jefe.
Now, in this case, can I change quien for qué? En este caso no es posible cambiar quién por qué como en el ejemplo pasado. Y esto es porque requiere una preposición. ¿Ok? Esto es un tema un poco más complicado porque es ese señor gordo con quien me viste ayer es mi jefe. Y esto en realidad es porque la preposición está pegada con el verbo ver. Me viste con ese señor gordo. Me viste tú con ese señor gordo. Entonces ese señor gordo con quien me viste ayer es mi jefe.
Okay.
Excelente. Entonces aquí estamos usando la preposición. Cuando usamos una preposición no podemos cambiar quién, por qué o el que o la que. No es posible. Third example.
Tercero. Ricardo, a quien llaman Polo, es un hombre peligroso. Ricardo, a quien llaman Polo, es un hombre peligroso.
Ok, perfecto. Entonces aquí nuevamente es otra preposición. ¿A quién llaman Polo? Es un... ¿what?
Es un hombre peligroso.
Es un hombre peligroso. So, en este caso usamos el verbo. Las personas llaman a Ricardo
Sí.
Polo. Llaman a Ricardo Polo. Entonces, Ricardo, a quien llaman Polo, es un hombre peligroso. No puedo decir o cambiar quién. ¿Por qué? Porque en este caso usamos una preposición. So remember, keep this in mind. When you're using a preposition, you cannot change quién for qué. If you don't need the prepositions, such as in the first example, you can change quién for qué.
Muy bien.
But both are correct. The next relative pronoun is actually a group. And this is el que, la que, los que, and las que. And this relative pronoun refers to the object and then adds information. Okay? So this is especially useful to indicate which object you are referring to. So, bear in mind that this needs to agree with the object. And it could be either masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. So let's see here a couple of examples.
¿Recuerdas a Margarita? La que tiene 4 perros. ¿Recuerdas a Margarita? La que tiene 4 perros.
Muy bien.
Ok. The next one. And it is... Mi vecino, el que vive en la casa roja, me regaló su aspiradora. Mi vecino, el que vive en la casa roja, me regaló su aspiradora.
Very good. So in this case, mi vecino could be like many neighbors. Mi vecino. But when you say el que vive en la casa roja, so you are actually referring to a specific neighbor. Okay? So, el que vive en la casa roja, not any neighbor, but the one who, el que could be translated as the one who, el que vive en la casa roja, and then you add information. What happened? Me regaló su aspiradora.
Yep.
So, therefore, in this case, you can say, mi vecino, el que vive en la casa roja, and the second, mi vecino me regaló su aspiradora. So, mi vecino, el que vive en la casa roja, you are referring to a specific one. Me regaló su aspiradora. Good.
Yeah.
Maybe you have also heard lo que. So what happens with lo que? So lo que, in contrast to el que o la que, lo que refers to an abstract thing. Okay? So let's see here a couple of examples.
Sí. En mi opinión, lo que me gusta de ti es tu forma de ver la vida. En mi opinión, lo que me gusta de... Lo que me gusta de ti es tu forma de ver la vida.
Okay. Or?
No entiendo lo que está escrito en el pizarrón. No entiendo lo que está escrito en el pizarrón.
Okay, guys, so in this example, just remember that lo que refers to an abstract idea. And in English, it could be translated as what. Only what. Okay, so the last one is cuyo, cuya, cuyos, and cuyas, which in English could be translated only with the word whose. And this relates to the owner to what it's owned. Be careful because as you heard, we have 4 variations. Cuyo, masculine singular, cuya, feminine singular, cuyos, masculine plural, cuyas, feminine plural. So, in this case, let's see one example and then explain it.
Sí. La niña cuyo padre es profesor es muy buena onda. La niña cuyo padre es profesor es muy buena onda.
Very good. So the girl whose father is a teacher is really cool, right?
Yeah.
Very good. So whose, cuyo padre. So en este caso padre es masculino y es singular. That's why you use cuyo.
The second example. El carro cuyos faros no funcionan es un peligro. El carro cuyos faros no funcionan es un peligro.
Very good, very good. So, cuyos faros So this is masculine plural noun faros. That's why we say cuyos faros. No funcionan, es un peligro. This is equivalent as saying el carro es un peligro porque sus faros no funcionan. So this is more like in the spoken Spanish. But in written Spanish, it is very common to find cuyo, cuya, cuyos, and cuyas.
Yeah. Okay, the last example of this. Pedro, cuyas hermanas son guapísimas, es mi amigo. Pedro, cuyas hermanas son guapísimas, es mi amigo.
Good, very good. And these are the relative pronouns that you can use to refer to people and also to objects. So what happened with places? So with places, the relative pronoun that you should use is donde. Donde. And also we have another, because what happens with moments or time. So for that, we also have cuando. Cuando. And there you have all the relative pronouns. So final note here, guys, remember that these relative pronouns are used for indicating a relative clause. And a relative clause is basically a clause or a sentence that adds information to a previous or shared noun with another sentence. That's a relative clause.
That's it for today. Si a ustedes les gustó el video, el que acabamos de hacer, por favor, danos tu pulgar arriba. Escribe algunos comentarios, déjanos tu suscripción, o sea, suscríbete a este canal y no dejes de vernos, da clic en las notificaciones, puedes seguirnos en las redes sociales como Spanish Pod, en Facebook, en Instagram, en todos lados.
En todos lados.
Okay, so see you in our next video. Hasta luego. Chao.
Oye, ¿oíste lo del Bitcoin?
Sí, ¿qué bajó?
No, todo lo contrario, subió y demasiado.
Bueno, lo que pasa es que lo leí en Facebook.
No, mira, ya sabes que en Facebook abundan las noticias falsas.
Tienes razón, lo son. Lo malo es que ya vendí todos mis bitcoins. Eran monedas, ¿no?
No, es algo virtual.
Pero costaba 1,000 pesos cada una. Son monedas.
$1,000, no pesos. Te estafaron. Hello there, my beautiful friends of SpanishPod101.com. As you might know, my name is Diego.
And I'm Efraín.
And in today's topic, we have this very beautiful and interesting topic, and that's how to use law in different situations.
Claro.
So, if you're interested, guys, enjoy this video. Okay, guys, so as you heard in the previous skit, we use a lot of times law. Lo usamos muchas veces. And this could be seen as the neuter Spanish article, law. As you will see, there is no easy direct translation. So that's why we will give you the most common uses of this word.
Yeah.
Why don't we start with the first thing? And the first one is when you use law plus adjetivo. Law plus adjetivo. Now, when you use this form, law plus adjetivo, you have 3 different ways for translating that. The good thing, or the something thing, that which is adjective, or what is adjective. For example, lo bueno would be that which is good, or the good thing, or even what is good is something.
Yeah.
So why don't we see a couple of examples?
¿Sí? El primero, lo barato sale caro. Lo barato sale caro. Número 2, lo mejor está por venir. Lo mejor está por venir. Número 3, lo más difícil del español son los verbos. Lo más difícil del español son los verbos. That's an example, obviously not.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Okay. Bueno, el siguiente. Sorry. Número 4. Este mes ha sido lo peor que me ha pasado. Este mes ha sido lo peor que me ha pasado.
Good. It is worth noticing that in this case, law represents an abstract idea. So we don't know what is that, but it's law. It's an abstract idea.
Yeah.
Law plus adjective. Remember that. Okay, so the second use of law is a widely used one, and that's law as a direct object pronoun. And well, honestly, we could do a whole video talking about this. So we would just grab the important things about law. And well, remember that law in this case represents an object. And it is like a shortcut of that object, and that is represented in a sentence. Okay? Now remember that law is basically used for nouns that are singular and masculine.
Yeah.
We also have la for singular feminine nouns. We have los for masculine plural nouns, and finally las for feminine plural nouns.
Very good.
Also, the position where you place this law depends a lot on which tense and mood you are using. So let's see a couple of examples.
Yeah. El primero, dámelo y te lo regreso mañana. Dámelo y te lo regreso mañana.
Orders have law at the end. Dame lo y te lo regreso mañana.
Yeah. Cuando lo vea, lo compraré. Cuando lo vea, lo compraré.
For subjunctive mood, law goes before the verb conjugated.
Ajá. Número 3. Quiero mi dinero ahora. Regrésalo. De verdad lo necesito. Quiero mi dinero ahora. Regrésalo. De verdad lo necesito.
So in this case, regrésalo, imperative mood, lo goes at the end, and then lo necesito, lo goes before the conjugated verb in the indicative mood.
Lo necesito.
The next very common use is lo combined with que. And when you use lo que, it usually refers to a relative pronoun. Okay? And this could be translated in English as what or even that. So let's see here a couple of examples.
Sí. El primero. Lo que pasó es que Carlos no miró a ambos lados antes de cruzar la calle. Lo que pasó es que Carlos no miró a ambos lados antes de cruzar la calle. Número 2. Esto no es lo que me gusta. Esto no es lo que me gusta. Este plato de comida no es lo que me gusta.
Making videos.
Ah.
Esto no es lo que me gusta.
No, yo siempre he querido ser pintor. Ok, bien. Número 3. No entiendo lo que haces. No entiendo lo que haces. No lo entiendo.
Neither do I.
No entiendo lo que haces.
No entiendo lo que haces, Efra. No lo entiendo.
Vale.
Okay, guys, so this one is also very common, but also slightly difficult to translate. And that's lo de. Lo de. And this, if you want to translate it, the closest meaning would be the matter concerning or even the thing about. Okay? Usually, you can use lo de with a noun or a verb in the infinitive form. So let's see some examples for this.
Ya, claro. El primero. Lo de Cassandra es un chisme. Te juro que no pasó. Lo de Cassandra fue un chisme. Te juro que no pasó. Número 2. Lo de bailar no se me da. Lo de bailar no se me da.
Believe him.
No es cierto. Ok. Número 3. Lo de Carlos no se ha resuelto. Lo de Carlos no se ha resuelto.
Very good. And there you have it. Lo de Carlos, name. Lo de bailar, verb.
Ajá.
Lo de la escuela tampoco se te da. So,
Ni lo de cantar.
ni lo de cantar, ni lo de nada.
Ni de actuar. Lo de actuar
Ni
no,
lo de
no se
nada.
te da.
Okay, guys, so the last one is when you use lo and you combine it with ser o estar. And now this is for answering basically a short question. Okay, using ser or estar. So think of it as when you ask, for example, is your house near here? Yes, it is. So in this answer, yes, it is a short answer. You can include lo. So let's see here some examples.
¿Tu casa está cerca de aquí?
No, no lo está.
Ah, ok.
¿Tu novia estaba enojada?
Sí, sí lo estaba. Es común, es común. Me va a cortar.
Otra vez.
Otra vez. Número 3. Es la mejor tenista.
Oh, sí, lo es.
Sí, es la mejor tenista.
Sí, lo es.
Esto es todo por hoy, amigos de Spanish Pod. Espero que lo hayan disfrutado. If so, please give us your thumbs up.
Destroy the like button.
Yeah, write your comments down there. So click on the notifications if you are already a subscriber, and if not, subscribe to this channel. Yeah, and learn more through our cheat sheets in SpanishPod101.com. Hasta luego.
See you.
Diego, tengo un buen de ganas de ir al cine.
Oh, qué bueno que lo mencionas. De hecho, yo también tengo bastantes ganas. Hace mucho que no vamos. Pero hay un problema. Al menos hoy no tengo nada de dinero.
Ok, yo tengo muchos cupones, especialmente boletos al 2x1.
Ah, eso es una buena idea. Ya sé, podemos ir después de comer.
Pero hay poca comida en el refrigerador.
Tienes razón. Bueno, mejor aún, vamos al restaurante y después vamos al cine.
De acuerdo, tengo bastante dinero en mi tarjeta.
Vamos. Hello there, my beautiful friends of SpanishBall101.com. As you might know, my name is Diego.
And I'm Efrain.
And in today's video, we're going to check the quantifiers, how to use these quantifiers that are very useful in Spanish.
Sí.
So, if you're interested, guys, enjoy this video. Okay, guys, so in the previous skit, you heard the quantifiers in Spanish. In this video, we're going to check the most common ones, and also you will get to know where to use them. So a quantifier basically is for telling the quantity, that's why it is quantifiers, or the degree or the intensity of an adjective. So let's get started with the first category. And the first category are the quantifiers that when they modify a noun, they need to match the gender and the number of that noun.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see, for example, the first one, and that's un for masculine, una feminine, unos masculine plural, and unas feminine plural.
For example, solo tengo un peso. Solo tengo un peso. Another one. ¿Te puedo pedir una cosa?
No.
¿Te puedo pedir una cosa? It's singular. Now let's do some examples with plural. Hay unos muchachos allá afuera. Hay unos muchachos allá afuera. Te quieren golpear.
Cabrón.
Ok, la siguiente. The next one. For feminine.
Hay unas muchachas afuera.
Hay unas muchachas afuera. Hay unas I forgot my example, but it was encontré unas palomas sobre mi tejado.
It's better the example of the muchachas.
Encontré unas palomas sobre mi tejado.
The next quantifier is poco. And remember that for this you have poco, poca, pocos, and pocas.
Yeah. Okay, so for example, tengo poco tiempo. Tengo poco tiempo. That's good. Okay, la siguiente. The next one. Solo me queda poco tiempo de vida.
Wow.
Solo me queda poco tiempo de vida.
That's a negative.
No, like
in a romantic movie.
70 years old, 70 years old,
okay,
only, but
okay.
es poco.
Yeah.
Another example. Solo usaré pocos libros este semestre. Solo usaré pocos libros este semestre.
Contrary of poco, poca, pocos, and pocas is mucho. And for mucho you have mucho, mucha, muchos, and muchas. And that's a lot.
Okay.
A lot.
So, for example, wow, hay muchas mariposas. Wow, hay muchas mariposas. Okay, another one. Tengo muchas cosas por hacer. Tengo muchas cosas por hacer.
Yeah. That's it?
I don't have more.
No tienes muchos ejemplos.
No tengo muchos ejemplos.
No, but what happens when you have too much or too many of something? Well, for this you use demasiado, demasiada, demasiados, o demasiadas.
Yeah.
So let's see a couple of examples.
Tengo demasiada tarea. Tengo demasiada tarea.
Pero no importa, nunca la haces.
Es cierto. Pero tengo demasiada tarea.
Eso no quita el hecho de que tengo demasiada
That's
tarea.
a fact. Ok. Tenemos demasiados videos en YouTube.
Ya, son muchos, ¿no? No demasiados.
Like 1000.
Well,
No, just like, I don't know.
like 10.
Like 10.
Okay, guys, so the next one is special because this only works for singular and plural forms regardless of gender. And this one is bastante. Bastante could be translated as enough. So you have bastante or bastantes in the plural form. Let's see one example.
Hay bastante comida para todos. Pueden venir. Hay bastante comida para todos. Pueden venir. ¡Fiesta! Ok, the next one. Déjalo en paz. Tiene bastantes problemas ahora mismo. Déjalo en paz. Tiene bastantes problemas ahora mismo.
Okay, guys, now the quantifiers also work as adverbs, but an adverb, remember that this modifies either an adjective, another adverb, or even a verb. So let's see 4 different quantifiers that you can use in this case. And the first one is poco. Poco. Remember, this doesn't take into account gender or if it is singular or plural. No, only poco.
Yeah.
For example,
las personas salen poco en esta temporada. Las personas salen poco en esta temporada. Porque hace frío. Claro, yo no saldría. Okay.
Okay, guys, so the next one is muy. Muy. Remember that this basically changes the degree or the intensity of, in this case, an adjective. And it could be translated as very. Muy. For example,
Carlos es una persona muy optimista. Carlos es una persona muy optimista y por eso lo admiro. Who is Carlos? I don't know. Debe de haber un Carlos.
Que sea muy
optimista.
Muy optimista.
Ahora, su novia está muy enojada.
¿Por qué es muy optimista?
Porque nunca se toma las cosas en serio.
Ah, sí, también. Okay, guys, so the last one is bastante. And contrary to the previous category, bastante in this case means quite. Bastante. For example,
desde que me mudé, me va bastante bien. Desde que me mudé, me va bastante bien. Ok. Número 2. Me gustan bastante las uvas. Me gustan bastante las uvas.
Muy bien. Okay, guys, so when we speak about the quantifiers, we are actually expressing the existence of something. But what about the inexistence? That's also very useful, and that's why we have this category for you. Yeah. And the first one is that you can use ningún or ninguna with a countable noun, con un sustantivo contable. Once again, ningún or ninguna. You don't use ningunos or ningunas, no. Only ningún or ninguna. So, for example,
¿y mi paleta?
¿No te di ninguna paleta?
¿Sí?
No te di ninguna paleta.
Okay, so the next one. Ningún estudiante reprobó la escuela. Ningún estudiante reprobó la escuela.
And you can add, excepto yo.
O sea, yo soy el que reprobó. Yeah. Well, it happens.
Okay, so that was for the sustantivo contable, the countable noun. So what about the uncountable nouns? Such as dinero or such as sueño, for example. What happens with that? Well, for that you will use not ninguno or ninguna, but rather nada de. Nada de. Okay, guys. For example,
No tengo nada de dinero en mi cartera. No tengo nada de dinero en mi cartera. Send some money. Ah.
no, please.
Okay,
Ya,
no,
vete a dormir. Ya,
yeah.
Efra.
No tengo nada de sueño.
Puta, no tienes nada, cabrón.
No tengo nada de sueño.
Okay, guys, so that was for nouns, but we can also basically negate or express the inexistence of an action, okay, or of a verb, and for that you use no plus verb plus nada. Remember that in Spanish we have the double negation, no plus verb plus nada.
¿Sí?
For example,
Ese niño no come nada. Pero sí como, sí como.
ahorita sí ya. Okay, guys, now it's time for checking the Mexican way. And for that we have 5 expressions.
Okay, so the first one, un buen. And it doesn't mean a good. It means plenty of or a lot of. Okay?
Un buen.
Tengo un buen de cacahuates en mi bolsa. Don't you put your
You
cacahuates?
say cacahuates. I thought the first one like because tengo un buen de caca.
No.
Tengo un buen de cacahuates. Yeah, I
Ajá.
love them.
I love them.
Mhm.
Tengo, ahora, okay, tengo un buen de dulces. I have a lot of candies. Tengo un buen de dulces. Okay, let's use this example with another expression. Un bonche.
Which is similar. Un bonche.
Un bonche. Tengo un bonche de dulces.
Exactly. Or even you can say not suitable for work. Un chingo.
Yeah, very informal.
Un chingo de cacahuates y de dulces y de
Tengo
lo
un
que
chingo.
quieras.
Like
Un
a
chingo.
lot.
Un
But
chingo.
it's a lot. But very informal. Okay? And we also have un montón. Un montón. Tengo un montón de dulces. I have a lot of candies. Another one. Tengo un buen de ganas de verte. Tengo un montón de ganas de verte. Tengo un de ganas de verte. Un chingo de ganas de verte. Or even un bonche, which is not that common. Usually.
That is correct. Un bonche
but
de
there's
ganas.
Un bonche de ganas. De verte. Like, I really want to see you. Romantic style.
Check.
Ephraim here. Romantic style check. Okay, see you. Too much TikTok. That's it for today, my beautiful family of SpanishPod101.com. If you really like this video, and if not too much,
Si te gustó mucho este video,
Danos-
quizás un chingo.
danos tu pulgar arriba. Even if you didn't like it a lot, give us your thumbs up. Support us. Share this video with all learners. Write your comments down there. I think you'll really like this video. Come on, it was really good. Okay. Okay, so subscribe to this beautiful channel. Click on the notifications after that. And don't forget to get your free lifetime account at SpanishPod101.com, where you will get tons of free PDF cheat sheets to increase your vocabulary. We have topics of everything.
Exactly.
Believe me.
Join
Okay.
us now, guys.
So join us and see you in the next one. Adios.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. In this lesson, you'll learn how to ask the question, when is your birthday? After watching this video, you'll be able to ask and answer about the date of an event. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños?
Es el 4 de marzo.
Once more with the English translation.
¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños?
When is your birthday?
Es el 4 de marzo.
It's on March 4th. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, when is event? The pattern is
¿Cuándo es?
event. For example, when is your birthday?
¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños?
Now, how do you answer this question?
Es el 4 de marzo.
Listen to it again.
Es el 4 de marzo. Es el 4 de marzo.
This Spanish sentence literally translates as, it's the 4th of March. But it means, it's on March 4th. Here are a few more phrases you can use with the same pattern to talk about upcoming events. Your birthday.
Tu cumpleaños. Tu cumpleaños.
Your birthday.
Tu cumpleaños.
Your graduation.
Tu graduación. Tu graduación.
Your graduation.
Tu graduación.
Your retirement.
Tu jubilación. Tu jubilación.
Your retirement.
Tu jubilación.
Your trip.
Tu viaje. Tu viaje.
Your trip.
Tu viaje.
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
¿Cuándo es tu graduación?
Es el 4 de marzo.
When is your graduation?
¿Cuándo es tu graduación?
It's on March 4th.
Es el 4 de marzo.
¿Cuándo es tu jubilación?
Es el 4 de marzo.
When is your retirement?
¿Cuándo es tu jubilación?
It's on March 4th.
Es el 4 de marzo.
¿Cuándo es tu viaje?
Es el 4 de marzo.
When is your trip?
¿Cuándo es tu viaje?
It's on March 4th.
Es el 4 de marzo.
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, when is event?
¿Cuándo es?
Event. And how do you say, it's on March 4th?
Es el 4 de marzo.
Imagine your graduation is coming up. Do you remember how to say your graduation?
Tu graduación. Tu graduación.
Say, when is your graduation?
¿Cuándo es tu graduación?
Now ask and answer the question, saying your graduation is on March 4th.
¿Cuándo es tu graduación?
Es el 4 de marzo.
Now imagine your retirement is coming up. Do you remember how to say your retirement?
Tu jubilación. Tu jubilación.
Say, when is your retirement?
¿Cuándo es tu jubilación?
Now ask and answer the question saying your retirement is on March 4th.
¿Cuándo es tu jubilación?
Es el 4 de marzo.
Now imagine your trip is coming up. Do you remember how to say your trip?
Tu viaje. Tu viaje.
Say, when is your trip?
¿Cuándo es tu viaje?
Now ask and answer the question saying your trip is on March 4th.
¿Cuándo es tu viaje?
Es el 4 de marzo.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Brenda Romaniello, tu profesora de español. I'm Brenda Romaniello, your Spanish teacher, and today we're going to learn how to give your phone number in Spanish. So to start this class, we're going to start with the vocabulary, how to say the numbers from 0 to 9 in Spanish. So let's have a look at the vocabulary for today's class. We're going to start with cero. Cero. Repeat after me. Cero. Cero. Uno. Uno. ¿Sí? Uno. Dos. 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 Tres. 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 Cuatro. 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 Cinco. 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 Seis. 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 Siete. 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 Ocho. 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 Nueve. 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 Muy bien, perfecto. Vamos a ver, let's have a look at some things that we need to pay attention to about the numbers in Spanish. Yes, very important with, for example, the 0, yes, that this is a CE in Spanish is going to be a C sound, like an S sound. So it's cero, cero. The same as you can see it here when we have a CI, also is going to be like an S sound. So we're going to say cinco, cinco. So for all my students out there who are also maybe learning Italian or that you have access to Italian or for some reason you know Italian, you know it's not cinco, never cinco, it's cinco, okay? Cinco. Something else to point out is tres. We have that R in between the T and the E. It's not going to be trilled or anything. It's tres, tres. And here, as you can see it, we also have it after in cuatro. We have to pronounce the C-U-A, not as an S as in these cases, but like a K sound. Cuatro, cuatro, cuatro. Sounds like maybe like a duck. Think of a duck, quack, 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 quack. Yeah, cuatro, cuatro. Muy bien. And this is a very soft tro, okay? Cuatro. So this T is not aspirated, so we're not going to say cuatro. Cuatro is cuatro. Tro. Muy bien. Something else, let's have a look at 6, seis, seis, and siete. As you can see, we have the E and the I and the I and the E reversed, so they look different and they sound different. Seis, siete. Ocho is pretty straightforward. And nueve also sometimes causes some confusion because you may think that as in English, we tend to drop the last E sometimes in certain words. And so you may want to say nueve o algo así. It's not like that. Yeah, we're going to say nueve. Nueve. So we pronounce that last E there. All right, let's repeat one more time. Repeat after me. Cero. Uno. Dos. Tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve. Perfecto. Vamos entonces a estudiar un diálogo. Let's now listen to a dialogue. We have, for example, a student that is talking to the student officer, and they need this person's phone number. We can say in this conversation, su número de teléfono, por favor. Su número de teléfono, por favor. See, this could be translated as, what is your phone number, please? Yeah, or can I have your phone number, please? Su número de teléfono, por favor. And then as a response, we can have, mi número de teléfono es. See, let's repeat this part. Mi número de teléfono. Something really important here is the pronunciation of teléfono. Okay, so as you can see, we have that little stress mark, that written accent, and on top of the E here, and that indicates where the stress of the word goes. So that is very important to have in mind when we are pronouncing this word, because a lot of people tend to say telefono, yes, putting the stress in the phono part, because of in English we say telephone, but in Spanish the accent or the stress of the word goes in teléfono. Teléfono. Repeat after me. Teléfono. Perfecto. Mi número de teléfono es. Let's see how we say this phone number, shall we? So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Muy bien. Let's have a look at some other examples. Let's have a look at the following 2 examples that we have here. Mi número de teléfono es 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 0, 2. Muy bien. ¿Puedes repetir? Can you repeat after me? Mi número de teléfono es 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 0, 2. As you can see here, I'm pausing between the 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 0, 2. And in Spanish, we always make sure that we pause so that the person has time to write down the number that you are saying. Yeah? So be sure to give that space for that time as well. Let's have a look at the following example. Mi número de teléfono es 9, 2, 1, 3, 4, 8, 5, 5, 6, 7. Otra vez. Let's do it again. Mi número de teléfono es 9, 2, 1, 3, 4, 8, 5, 5, 6, 7. Perfecto. So the structure is very simple in Spanish. We're going to say mi número es or mi número de teléfono. Those are the 2 options. My number is or my phone number is. Yes, mi número es. and then the phone number. It's very straightforward. So remember, we are going to have the different numbers depending on, where you go. We'll have different lengths of numbers for phone numbers in Spanish. But remember to always pause between certain numbers. And in certain countries, for example, where I'm from Argentina. And in Argentina, it's very common as well to give two numbers at a time. So instead of saying 0, 1, la 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 la, we say the 98, 54, etc., etc. But it's also very common to have it said like number by number as well. Do you remember how to say 0 in Spanish? Cero. Cero. How do you say 1 in Spanish? Uno. Uno. Do you remember how to say 2 in Spanish? Dos. Dos. And how do you say 3 in Spanish? Tres. Tres. Do you remember how to say 4 in Spanish? Cuatro. Cuatro. How do you say 5 in Spanish? Cinco. Cinco. How do you say 6 in Spanish? Seis. Seis. And how do you say 7 in Spanish? Siete. Siete. How do you say 8 in Spanish? Ocho. Ocho. And how do you say 9 in Spanish? Nueve. Nueve. Now, how do you say phone number in Spanish? Número de teléfono. Número de teléfono. How do you say my in Spanish? Mi. Mi. And how do you say in Spanish, my phone number is 123-01-987654. Mi número de teléfono es 123-0198-7654. Mi número de teléfono es 123-0198-7654. Perfecto. Perfect. So that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching today's lesson, and I hope you now know how to give your phone number in Spanish. And now I would love for you to practice with your own actual number, so that when you are under pressure and when you have to give your phone number in Spanish, you know straight away how to say it, because you already studied and memorized it, how to say it in Spanish. So tell me, su número de teléfono, por favor. Tell me what your phone number is in Spanish. Muchísimas gracias y nos vemos en la próxima clase. Adiós. Hola, soy Brenda Romaniello, tu profesora de español. Hello, I'm Brenda Romaniello, your Spanish teacher. Today, we're going to have a look at how to introduce your family members in Spanish. Let's start with some vocabulary. So, I want you to repeat after me. Repite después de mí. Papá. Papá. Notice that little accent there on the top of the A. That's where the stress of the word goes. So I don't want you to say papa. I want you to say papá. Papá. Muy bien. Mamá. Mamá. So papá, is father, mamá is mother. It also means mom and dad. Papá, mamá. Yo. Hermano. Hermana. So remember, in Spanish, it's very important to know that we don't pronounce the H in Spanish. The H is silent in Spanish. So as you can see there, it's not going to be hermano or hermana. Remember, it's going to be, pretend that the H is not there. So we're going to say hermano, hermana. Hermano, hermana. Okay, let's see how we say husband in Spanish. We say esposo. Repite, esposo. And wife, we are going to say esposa. Muy bien. What about son? We are going to say, remember we said the H is silent in Spanish, so we're going to say hijo. And daughter, we're going to say hija. Okay, so now let's put this in context and let's have a look at this vocabulary in a conversation. Let's say, for example, that two co-workers are looking at each other's phone. One person can say, ¿Quién es él? ¿Quién es él? Who is he? ¿Quién es él? ¿Quién es él? Es mi esposo. Es mi esposo. It's my husband or he is my husband. Es mi esposo. Let's have a look at some other examples that you can use when, for example, you're in a conversation with Spanish speakers and they show a photo of their family members in their phone or in a photo. Or if you want to say that, well, this is my mom or she's my mom, my mother, you can say, es mi mamá. Es mi mamá. So she's my mother or it's my mother. Es mi hijo. Es mi hijo. He's my son or it's my son. So remember, the structure that we're going to have to introduce a family member in Spanish is going to be es plus mi plus the family member. Es mi esposo. Es mi mamá. Es mi hijo. So something to pay attention to in Spanish is that in English we say he is or she is, it is, etc. In Spanish, we're just simply going to say es. And es it's basically the verb conjugated for the third person singular, so for he, she, and it as well. So in Spanish, we don't mention the pronoun, yes, as we do in English to say he is or she is. In Spanish, we simply say es. So I don't know if you know a lot of Spanish speakers or if you have any Spanish friends, but we make this mistake in English all the time. I even have to think about it sometimes, that we tend to say he is for everything, right? Like even for animals and things, because we're so used to just saying es in Spanish. So for you, maybe what you have to get used to is just dropping the he and the she and just simply say es. So if you want to introduce a family member to someone else, you can say es mi mamá, es mi hijo, es mi esposo, es mi hija, es mi hermana, es mi hermano. Muy bien, vamos a practicar. Let's practice. Do you remember how to say husband in Spanish? Esposo, esposo, esposo. And do you remember how to say my husband in Spanish? Mi esposo, mi esposo. And do you remember how to say it's my husband or he's my husband? Es mi esposo. Es mi esposo. Do you remember how to say wife in Spanish? esposa, esposa. And do you remember how to say daughter in Spanish? Hija, hija. Do you remember how to say son in Spanish? Son. Hijo, hijo. Do you remember how to say mother in Spanish? Mama, mama. And how do you say father in Spanish? Papa, papa. How do you say brother in Spanish? Hermano, hermano. And how do you say sister in Spanish? Hermana, hermana. Muy buen trabajo. Excellent job. That is all for today's lesson. I really hope that now you know how to introduce your family members in Spanish. Thank you so much for watching today's class and I will see you next class. Adiós, hasta luego. Hola, soy Brenda Romaniello, tu profesora de español. Hello, welcome to today's Spanish class. My name is Brenda Romaniello and I am your Spanish teacher. Today, we're going to talk about the weather in Spanish, how to talk about the weather in Spanish. This is such a useful lesson because now you're going to be able to chit-chat, to talk about the weather with people. Don't we all talk about the weather when there's nothing to talk about, right? So this lesson hopefully will be extremely helpful and useful to you. So we are going to start with a dialogue. We're going to listen to a conversation. We're going to hear, say, two neighbors that meet in the elevator and then they start talking about the weather in Spanish. We can say, ¿Qué calor hace? ¿Qué calor hace? See, how hot? Or maybe in English we say, it's so hot, right? It's so hot. ¿Qué calor? ¿Qué calor hace? ¿Qué calor hace? And the other person says, sí, ¿verdad? Yes, right? That's right. Oh, I know. So, sí, ¿verdad? Sí, ¿verdad? ¿Qué calor hace? Sí, ¿verdad? Muy bien. So let's have a look at some examples that we have here. So it's usually we're going to have a look at the pattern in a minute, but we use the same pattern to talk about the weather with different weather conditions. So we can say, ¿Qué frío hace? Repite después de mí. ¿Qué frío hace? Repeat after me. ¿Qué frío hace? ¿Qué viento hace? ¿Qué viento hace? ¿Qué calor hace? ¿Qué calor hace? Muy bien, very good. So, ¿qué frío hace means how cold, y qué viento hace, how windy, or it's so cold today, it's so windy. Muy bien, vamos a ver la estructura. Let's have a look at the pattern for talking about the weather in Spanish. So we're going to have que plus the weather condition and then the verb hace. And this means how, then the weather condition, or what then the weather condition. We'll talk about this in a minute. So, que plus the weather condition hace, we have the verb here hacer, muy bien, el verbo es hacer, and this verb is a verb that literally it means in Spanish to make or to do, but for the weather, to talk about the weather in Spanish, we use this verb and we use it in the third person singular, hace, hace, and this is it's just an impersonal verb. How we use it here is just to talk about the weather. Kind of like when you say it's hot or it's cold. There's nothing, it is just the weather, okay? So it's very similar in that respect in Spanish when we use el verbo hacer in the third person singular, hace que plus weather condition, hace. Let's have a look at some vocabulary, to talk about the weather in Spanish. So, repeat after me. Calor, calor, calor. So this means hot when we talk about the weather, okay? ¿Qué calor hace? See how hot it is. Bochorno, bochorno, bochorno. ¿Qué bochorno hace? And that means how muggy, yes? I'm from Argentina, yes, and in Argentina we actually use this word to talk about the humidity or how muggy the day is. We say humedad. ¿Qué humedad? ¿Sí? ¿Qué humedad hace? So, bochorno, humedad, humedad, which would be something like ¿qué humedad hace? Oh, how humid it is, right? Frío. Repite. Frío. Frío. Cold. Viento. 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 So viento significa, it means wind, yes? And of course, when we put it in this structure, ¿qué viento hace? ¿Qué viento hace? Significa, it means how windy it is, yes? Or it's really windy. Buen tiempo. Buen tiempo. Buen tiempo significa nice weather, ¿sí? ¿Qué buen tiempo hace? ¿Qué buen tiempo hace? ¿Sí? What a nice weather we have today. Yes, or it's a beautiful weather. Lluvia. 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 Lluvia means rain, and lluvia would be the exception for all these weather conditions because we're not going to use lluvia with this pattern, with this word, with this verb hace. We're going to say that lluvia doesn't require hace when we want to describe the weather condition that it's raining or how heavy it's raining. If we want to comment on how heavily it's raining, then we can say que lluvia. So you can completely delete hace from this expression, from this sentence, from this exclamation to talk about the weather and say que lluvia. Repeat after me. Que lluvia. Que lluvia. Que lluvia. And that means what a downpour, yes, or it's raining heavily, yes. Que lluvia. So that's when we talk about the structure, we were saying how, then plus weather condition, and it also can mean what a downpour in the case of lluvia. Yeah, so que plus weather condition hace. So that is how to talk about the weather in Spanish. Now it's time to practice what we have learned. Do you remember how to say hot when it's related to the weather? Calor. Calor. And how do you say how hot? ¿Qué calor hace? ¿Qué calor hace? Do you remember how to say Maggie in Spanish? Bochorno. Bochorno. Do you remember how to say cold when talking about the weather? Frío. Frío. Do you remember how to say wind in Spanish? Viento. Viento. Do you remember how to say nice weather in Spanish? Buen tiempo. Buen tiempo. Do you remember how to say rain in Spanish? Lluvia. Lluvia. And do you remember how to say what a downpour in Spanish? Que lluvia. Que lluvia. Muy bien. Muy buen trabajo. Very good job. Thank you so much for watching today's class, and I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I will see you in the next one. Now you know how to talk about the weather in Spanish. I'll see you next class. Adios. Hasta luego.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Monthly Review, the monthly show on language learning. where you discover new learning strategies, motivational tips, study tools, and resources. By the way, all the lessons and bonuses you're about to see can be downloaded for free on our website. So click the link in the description right now to sign up for your free lifetime account. Okay, today's topic is the power of a teacher. Are you learning a language alone or with someone else, like a teacher? If you're learning alone, then you're missing out on some powerful benefits and not just being able to practice with someone. A good teacher can motivate you to go above and beyond your current level right now. And that's why today you'll discover 1. The powerful benefits of learning with a good teacher, and 2. How you can learn faster with outside help. But first, if you're looking for new free language resources and downloads, here are this month's new lessons and resources. Be sure to download these now before we take them down in a few days. First, the Hotel Conversation Cheat Sheet. With this new cheat sheet, you'll learn how to check in at the hotel, plus all the must-know hotel-related words and phrases. Download it for free right now. Second, our PDF Welcome Pack. New to the language and don't know where to start? Start with the basics. And with our Welcome Pack, you get 6 PDF cheat sheets giving you a quick overview of the alphabet, grammar, keywords and phrases, and all the basics you must know. Third, going on vacation vocabulary. Learn how to say summer vacation, camping, honeymoon, and much more with this quick 1-minute lesson. Fourth, how to talk about the muscles of the body. Learn how to say biceps, triceps, and much more. Fifth, idioms that make you sound like a native speaker. In this quick lesson, you'll pick up 10 idioms that you can use in conversations. To get your free resources, click the link in the description below right now. They're yours to keep forever. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. The power of a teacher. Part 1. The benefits of learning with a good teacher. Have you ever had a good teacher that inspired you to do better and go above and beyond? It could be any teacher, and not just language related. If you had someone like that, then you already know the power of a really good teacher and the impact it can have on your learning. If you had the opposite, then you're also well aware of how a bad teacher can toss cold water on your motivation and desire to learn. But today, we just want to focus on the good and powerful benefits of learning with a teacher. 1. You get language practice and feedback. For the most part, any teacher can give you new words and grammar rules, help you practice, and correct your mistakes. And that's the most obvious benefit. Next. 2. If you enjoy learning with your teacher, you'll want to improve more. Now, this is one of the rarely talked about benefits. But if you think about it, if you actually enjoy learning with your teacher, and if your teacher takes the time to understand where you're struggling, something interesting will happen to your progress. Because you feel like someone finally understands you, you'll open up and want to learn and practice more. You'll want to impress them, and you'll come to the next lesson better than before. And if you add all of that effort up, lesson after lesson, you'll improve much faster. So that's why it's important to find a teacher that fits your needs well. On the other hand, if you don't really care who you learn with, and if you just show up, listen, take notes, and repeat a few words, you won't learn as fast. It'll be no different than going to class in school, passing a test, and forgetting everything immediately after. 3. Higher expectations create better results. If your teacher sets high expectations, and if you can handle it, you'll progress much faster than with a more easygoing teacher. For example, if one teacher wants you to learn 500 words in a month and another just wants 100, even if you fail the 500-word goal, you'll still be much further along than with someone that doesn't put pressure on you. But of course, that's a personal decision. Some people want someone to push them, and some people want to learn the language at a comfortable pace. If you're upfront with your expectations, a good teacher will understand the pace you want and will work with that. By the way, if you have a good teacher that you remember from school, leave a comment below and let us know how they helped you succeed. Now, where can you get someone as motivational as that to help you learn a language fast? Well, it's easier said than done, but let's get into it. Part 2. How you can learn faster with outside help. Having outside support can be a game changer for your long-term motivation. It can push you to reach new limits and work harder than ever. And that outside support can be a teacher, like we mentioned, a tutor, family, a friend, or someone you look up to. but it has to be someone that inspires and energizes you. And finding people like that is easier said than done. So if you're looking for outside support, there are a few things you can do. First, find yourself a teacher. But again, really good teachers, the kind that motivate and push you, are hard to find. So you might want to take a few trial lessons with a few teachers to find the one you're the best fit with. Second, if you know your learning style and what methods work for you, be sure to let your teacher know directly. It's their job to help, but they won't know you as well as you know yourself. But if you passively go into every session without having questions and requests of your own, you won't progress as fast. Third, if you're learning with our system and are a Premium Plus user, take advantage of your Premium Plus teacher. They'll hold you accountable, send you assignments, and give you feedback to help you perfect your language skills. Fourth, if you're learning with our system but are just taking the lessons, then find a lesson host you like in our lessons. Oftentimes, our users stick with lessons and continue learning just because they like the lesson hosts. And fifth, find other language learners that match or exceed your motivation level. Why? Because seeing someone else succeed and improve will push you to do the same. And this is a good option if you don't have immediate access to a teacher as well. Now, back to you. Are you learning with a teacher right now? Have you ever had a teacher that motivated you to do better? Leave a comment. So thank you for watching this episode of Monthly Review. Next time, we'll talk about how to create long-lasting habits for language learning. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. See you next time. Bye! Want to transform your driving time into language learning time? How much time do you spend in your car every day? 30 minutes? More than an hour? Why not put this huge amount of time to good use? Instead of just listening to the radio during your daily commute, you could be learning a new language instead. Here are 3 easy methods for learning a language in your car. You can put them to use right away with the help of our language learning program. First, you can listen to fun audio lessons by real teachers. Listening to lessons while in the car allows you to focus on the road as you listen and learn. In every one of our 3 to 15-minute lessons, our teachers teach you conversations, new phrases, and cultural points. Audio is the only learning medium that lets you learn and drive safely at the same time, so take advantage of all our audio lessons available. Second, you can set your lessons on autoplay and go hands-free. Our autoplay feature lets you keep your hands on the wheel without even reaching for your device. Just set your lessons to autoplay one by one with our Innovative Language 101 app, and never have to interrupt your focus on driving to switch to a new lesson. Third, you can repeat out loud and speak from your very first lesson. You want to speak a new language too, right? Well, you'll start learning conversations minutes into your lessons. All you have to do is listen and repeat out loud. Our teachers take you step by step through all of the words, phrases, translations, and grammar points. You're even prompted to speak out loud and repeat. The result? You understand it all and can speak your new language. Turn your commute into language learning time and have fun at the same time. Learning doesn't have to be a big commitment, like signing up for a college class. It can be fun and easy. In fact, it's as easy as pressing play. Our language learning programs will do the work for you. And with the exposure you get while driving on your daily commute, you'll be speaking and understanding real-life language quickly. The best part? You can finally learn without even changing your schedule. So if you're ready to finally learn a new language the fast, fun, and easy way, sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Signing up takes less than 30 seconds, and you'll start speaking from your very first lesson. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Want to learn your target language fast and understand native conversations, even if you're a beginner? In this Learning Strategies video, you'll learn all about the line-by-line dialogue, a powerful study tool that 1. Makes understanding conversations a breeze for beginners, and 2. Improves your speaking, listening, reading, and even writing skills. But first, if you don't yet have access to this tool and our lessons, just click the link down in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now. 1. What is the line-by-line dialogue exactly? The line-by-line dialogue is a study tool that makes absorbing conversations easier, and you'll find it in all of our audio lessons inside of our learning program. It breaks down the conversations you learn in our lessons into individual lines so that you don't get overwhelmed. For each line, you get the text in the target language, the translations, and audio pronunciation, so you can listen to each line, read along, and understand every single word. And you can also use the line-by-line dialogue to perfect your speaking, reading, listening, and writing skills. How? Take a look. 2. How to improve your speaking skills. The easiest way to start speaking on your own is to shadow what you hear, meaning repeat what you hear as you play each line. Just press the audio icon next to each line to hear it and shadow along. Next, if you want to perfect your pronunciation, click on the microphone icon to start recording. Then record and compare your pronunciation with the native speakers. These tactics get you speaking in minutes, and if you apply these to every lesson, you'll be speaking a lot more of your target language. Next, here's how you master listening. Since the line-by-line dialogue is a line-by-line breakdown of the conversation, you can listen to each line separately, as much as you want. Click on the audio icon to listen again and again and review the script. Read along so that you can pick apart every word. That way, you can understand those fast, native-level conversations and never miss a word. 4. Here's how you can practice reading. As you listen to the conversation, read along line by line. And if you don't know a word, click on the translations. They're right there in the line-by-line dialogue. You can even read with the Romanized script to help you sound out the words. And finally, here's how you can practice writing. Now, this advice is not something you'll hear very often because it's so simple. It's so simple that most people don't even think of doing it. Here it is. Just grab a pen and copy the lesson dialogue down into a notebook. The big benefit here is there's no writer's block. You don't have to worry about what to write. It's all there for you. So, if you want to learn your target language faster, understand native-level conversations, and improve your speaking, listening, reading, and writing skills, then get free access to the line-by-line dialogue. Sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to sign up. Great work! Here's a reward. Speed up your language learning with our PDF lessons. Get all of our best PDF cheat sheets and ebooks for free. Just click the link in the description.